Back of the bus, keeping it real. Dropping knowledge, spitting the real deal. Alpha Rule on the mic, taking control. With every flow, I'm reaching new heights, yo. Raw high, slicing through the lies and deceit. Exposing the truth, bringing heat to the beat. Law dog on the streets, protecting what's right. Fighting for justice day and night. Yeah, knowledge and bodies takes. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Cyberspace Chronicles, taking it there. Together we ride, leaving no stone unturned. Spreading the truth, it's time to learn.
Welcome. We got Back of the Bus and Rawhide Media, this dual show that we're gonna put together. And I know it has been far too long before have been able to finally answer all the questions of the offseason. I think this has absolutely been the hottest topic in these YouTube streets concerning the Colorado Buffaloes. What do you think there about that, Alpha?
Man, it's been the hottest topic since we came out with our prediction way in January. So we've been way ahead of this stuff, bro. So, it's a hot topic.
Man, I am more than excited, bro, to get into this. You know what I'm saying? And as you said before, we've been discussing this since January, Alpha. January.
A lot of this stuff we caught, even when the schedule was released, we pretty much been, especially after week one, we was right on point on week one. Right on point. And everything is happening kind of what we kind of said that it's you have probabilities and possibilities. So hopefully today we'll talk about possibilities, but we're probably going to lean more toward the probable stuff. So that's what we want to focus on. What probably should happen, and then but nobody can tell what the possibility is going to be.
Exactly. And I think this season for Matt Rule and Deion Sanders, I think this is the season of expectations for both parties. I mean, when you're talking about Matt Rule, right? A lot of people, for those of you who are not familiar with Matt Rule and the things that he accomplished or the places that he's coached at, he started his coaching career back in 1998 at Penn State as a volunteer assistant. I'm not going to bore you all through, through the timeline, but a couple of stints at, I would call it some good or major college football programs as a head coach. I think his first outing there was at Temple back in 2013.
Yeah, that was his first opportunity at, I believe, a D1, like a straight D1 school.
Hey, facts. And let's be honest about it. Coaching at Temple is similar to being in purgatory. You know what I mean? Because Temple.
it's a basketball school. It's Philadelphia, cold weather. Right. Yeah. Right. They don't have that much. They got some talent. Well, they do got some talent in the Pittsburgh area, but I don't think the Pittsburgh kids are coming to Temple.
Exactly. And they started coaching there in 2013. Head coach started out 2-10. Second season, they improved by 4 games, 6-6. And in 2015 and 2016, he won 10 ball games at Temple, which is a feat in itself. Is that not crazy?
That's crazy. That's the big Temple. That's the Big East. What's Temple? Temple's the Big East.
Back then they were in the American Athletic Conference.
Okay, the AAC. Okay, that's Villanova and those schools. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a decent conference for that division.
Right. And then he took over in 2017 the Baylor Bears. His first season there in 2017 was 1-11, bro. 1-11, 1-8 in conference, bro. Okay. Can you imagine? Then the 2008 to 2018 season, bro, he popped him to 7-6. That was a 6-game improvement, man. You can't do nothing but tip your hat to that.
That's a bowl game.
That's a bowl game, bro. That's a bowl game. Right. And then, in 2019, obviously at Baylor, it was 11-3, 8-1 in the conference. Finished second with a Sugar Bowl loss, and y'all know how I feel about those bowl games.
And this is pre-transfer portal. This is straight. You got to play with the kids that are there. You got to play with the kids that went 1-11. You got to figure out how to win with those kids because you can't really replace them like that. Because at that time, if you was a player that played at Michigan or Baylor and you transferred, you either had to sit a year or you can move down to a lower division and play immediately. So at that
Right.
time, people weren't transferring like they're transferring now.
Exactly. And it brings us to where we are today, where he's at Nebraska last season. He was 5-7. I think he had one of the better defenses in the Big Ten last season. Again, winning 5 games, kind of similar to Colorado, 5-7 season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, correction, Colorado won 4 games. My bad. That was 4 games, wasn't it? 4-8, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4-8.
My bad. Correction, 4-8. And so far this season, he's 1-0. He beat down UTEP, which we all watched together over there in Discord. And hey, let me just pull up real quick. If y'all not part of our Discord, make sure you come over and join the Ken and Kids Discord, bro. Hey, it's
Get
on
wild.
fire.
It get wild over there. And hey, you got to know your sports, but you might not have to know your sports. You just have to have a good sense of humor. All you need to do in that Discord is have a good sense of humor and want to have some fun. That's it. That's all you got to have.
That's it. Because it's just football. It's just football, bro.
Yeah, but we talk about other stuff too, though. We do other stuff too.
Yeah. We gonna keep it football. Yeah. We gonna keep it straight down the line. We gonna keep it straight down the line. But you know what I'm saying? He played. Nebraska played Utah. They played UTEP. You know what I'm saying? Beat them 40-7. Man, what you think about the game? We all watched it together over there in Discord. What you thought about it, bro?
So we did a breakdown on Back of the Bus. If you guys go back, look at the video. I did a breakdown on what Raiola brings to them after looking at their spring game. The most impressive part about the quarterback, because I think right now with Nebraska, everybody knows they have a good O-line, good D-line, good defense, good running game. The only thing that they needed was a quarterback. And there's a lot of schools like that across the country. If they got good quarterback play, they're going to do something special, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we noticed in the spring game is that the guy had a great command of the offense from day one. And we noticed that Raiola and Coach Rule, they don't have to do too much. Like Raiola has no problems with checking to a run, or Rule calls runs just to keep the down and distance manageable. They manage the game very well, even though they do have explosive plays in the running game and in the passing game. Now, but what I was impressed, so we saw the spring game. Now let's go to what I saw the difference between the spring game and now the first game in real life competition. He still has good control of the offense. He still doesn't have to do too much. But what I noticed, I noticed he trusted his arm, but this boy is putting the ball on some spots, bro. Keep in mind, they dropped the bomb. They dropped one, and it was what you call them? It was a Lamborghini, bro. That thing was, okay. You've seen Raiola play twice. You've seen the spring game, and you've seen this game, right? Right?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you because you will critique when it comes to quarterbacks. How many deep ball Lamborghinis have you seen from this kid in just 2 games?
I think I saw 2 pure deep ball Lamborghinis. One of them was missed. Now, could it have been a little bit, you know what I'm saying, better maybe? So I'm not going to count that when the man dived forward, went through his arms in the end zone.
Right.
You remember that throw?
But that's in my opinion, that's a Lamborghini. He put
you think that's a Lamborghini? Okay.
The reason why it's a Lamborghini because he put it where only his guy can catch it, and any good receiver will catch that ball. It wasn't like he had to dive and stretch all the way out. It was just a little bit of a dive. You got to catch that ball. That was a beautiful picture. You got to catch that.
I agree.
But you remember the one in the spring game that he threw 60 yards in the air? You remember that one?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you remember the one before halftime when he threw in the back of the end zone, only his man could catch it, right?
Yeah.
You remember that one? This game today? Yesterday,
Yeah.
I mean. But hold about. But you forgot about he did throw a 59-yard bomb in this game.
Yeah, that's why I gave him 2 in the game. I didn't count the spring game.
No, what I'm saying is count the spring game. I'm saying you've seen him play 2 times.
Oh, yeah.
This is where he will put pressure. And I'm not putting, we always talk about you putting a lot of sauce on it. I'm saying he's impressive compared to any freshman quarterback that I've seen in recent years. While you bullcrapping, he's impressive as a college quarterback. If you didn't tell me the kid was a freshman, I would not know he was a freshman. His body language doesn't look like that. He doesn't get rattled. I wouldn't know he was a freshman unless I knew he was a freshman. So anybody that keeps using that term of he's a freshman and he's gonna make freshman mistakes, yeah, he might. But go check out the spring game and go check out this last game and tell me what you see. Tell me who's the freshman on the field and who's not the freshman on the field.
Well, I gotta say though, I mean, it does give you a sense of comfort that you playing behind that defense that Matt Rule is assembling. They only allowed 205 total yards from UTEP.
And one of them came on a bomb that the DB just didn't play it right.
Right.
60, I think it was 60 of it came on that play. So take away that play. I mean, I know we can't do that, take away that play, but I'm just saying, putting it into context. That means if they had 60 plays, 59 of those plays went for 140 yards. That's the context that I'm putting it in. So, yeah, man, if you watch the defense, let's talk about forget Raul. Let's talk about the defense. What I saw is a defensive line that absolutely, when they come after you, they're gonna get to you. They can get to you with 3, but when you get in 3rd and long and they bring 4, they couldn't block them. With 4
Couldn't
down,
block.
they could not block them because they had them 2 dogs. Because if you bring 4 down linemen, now somebody's gonna be at least 4 people gonna be one-on-one, and you ain't blocking those guys one-on-one at this particular level. Then they gang tackle. I thought Nebraska did an outstanding job gang tackling. Every time I saw somebody get hit, they call them the black shirts. I saw 5, 6, 7 people hitting them. Bah, 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 bah. They were hitting. Everybody was coming. Bubble screens, running plays, scramble plays. I saw hitting. Now, if there is a flaw, I think that the DBs are fast enough, but I think their ball, like Travis has great ball skills. I don't like their ball skills when it's in the air. It
Yeah,
wasn't
that
like
back.
guys were wide open. Yeah, it wasn't like they were open. It just the guy caught the ball on them. Okay, it happens. Some DBs are good at it, some DBs aren't. So, but I don't know. We'll talk about how we think Nebraska will play Colorado, but that will be the only. But the problem is, people say let's just throw the ball all day. That's gonna be a little bit more difficult than. I don't think you could play Nebraska like Hawaii would play Nebraska. The old school Hawaii would throw the ball 80 times and run it twice. I don't think you can beat Nebraska like that because as soon as they get you in a third, if you have an incomplete pass on first down, now you're in 2nd and 10. That's the problem with not running the ball. If you get one incomplete pass, it puts you in the blender. It puts you in a tough situation.
Yeah, 100% right. That vaulted 3-3-5 that Matt Rule runs is I think that's the type of defense to use when you're playing teams that wants to spread you out and throw it all across the field.
Correct. And especially if they feel like those 3 can get to you. But what he does do also is, they did a couple of times last year and gave him problems. They'll line up, look like a blitz, and pop out into a zone and mess your count up. And
There
they'll
you
do
go.
that they're gonna do that all day long and see, can you handle this? Because if I line up at the line of scrimmage and I'm a linebacker in that 3-3-5 and I line up there, you better count me because I can come or I can't come. And at least for that 10th of a second, you looking at me and you're not looking at the guy that you're really supposed to be blocking yet. So
100%, 100%. But hey, now that was the positives about Nebraska. Come on, man. These positives about Colorado. What you think? Hey, what did we surmise about Colorado in game 1? You know what I'm saying? It was the
oh,
first game of the season. A lot of new coaches. You had a lot of new players. It was kind of almost starting from scratch. I think they didn't really have the foundation like Nebraska has, so there was going to be some ups and downs. I think we can all agree to that because that's just generally what happens. But what did you see from them though?
So we know their bread and butter is getting that ball in the air, spinning that ball. I used to call it spinning that ball. Shador, Travis, the receivers, the rest of the receivers. That's what they're gonna do. And over the years, we've seen a lot of teams like that be successful. You got your Houston's, you got your Hawaii's, you have your BYU's. You've seen teams do that over the years, but it matched the conference that they were in. The hard part is those teams when they play a certain style of football, it became a little more difficult. Because if you're gonna throw and I'm gonna throw, then hell, I'm just better at throwing than you are. But if I'm gonna throw and you're gonna play hard nosed defense and run the ball and I don't get the ball back, now every time I get the ball, I feel pressure. It makes me go for it on 4th down on your own field position because you feel pressure that if I give you the ball back, we're gonna have a problem. So I think Colorado's gonna throw the ball. Um, Defensive wise,
But hold on,
I
wait, let's
still
back
don't
up.
know their defense. Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's back up a little bit. Oh, come on, we gotta give Travis Hunter some
No,
extensive
dude, they
praise
top
for the
players in the
way
country. They top
he
players in
is.
the country. If there was a list right now, a Heisman Trophy list, like you make that you got two guys on the hell. Jimmy might even be on that damn thing. They gonna throw that ball. They gonna throw that ball. And they gonna throw it for yardage. If you can't get, you got to be able to get to them. If you can't get to them, they're gonna throw yardage, but you got to be able to get to them. Now you can get to them. Now I don't. It's a lot of a little bit of everything. I like the way they threw the ball, but I didn't like the way they protected Shador. Shador was pressured 30% of the time he dropped back.
Yeah, they got him off the spot quite a bit. I
A
mean, that's
lot. I mean,
a lot.
yeah, he was running a lot, and yeah, he made some plays. Those guys aren't as big and as fast and as strong as what he's going to see in the future. But dude, I don't like the hits that he was taking. I promise you, when Coach Prime looks at that film, and Coach Schumer looks at that film, they're not gonna like those hits. Some of them hits were career-ending hits. If they hit you the right way, or season, not career. I'm not gonna use career, but season-ending hits. Some of them hits, you get hit the right way, or you throwing the ball when your shoulder is fully extended, you about to release it, and then bam, somebody hits you flush. I don't like that for my quarterback, man. I don't give a damn how many yards you throwing. This is not sustainable. It's not
Yeah,
sustainable.
I agree with you. I think it's a testament of how tough Shador is. You know, if you're
Yeah,
gonna have any positive takeaways from it, it tells you, he is showing you, you know what I'm saying, tough nature, and you know what I'm saying, that
right.
he's able to overcome those issues that he has to deal with and still be successful. I mean, still drop 4.5 on the
Yeah,
head.
man. He killed him. Travis made some good plays, but Jimmy was the one that broke the game open on them deep passes down the middle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Jim out there running butt naked, wide open.
he was wide open. North Dakota State had some blown coverages. Yeah, he was so open that a couple of them, it was like, man, just throw him the ball. He should be able to walk into the end zone, but he was open. And the coach said it from North Dakota. He said, we got blown coverage. We got people that ain't even covered. But hey,
Exactly.
I can't be mad. I can't be mad at you for not covering him. All he got to do is catch the rock. Because even the one that he dropped, he was about to go for 30. With his speed, he might have took that damn thing to the house. He
Yep.
was about to catch that and be turned up field. There was nobody there. So I
Yep.
think I definitely think he's on the radar. I definitely think schools or teams moving forward. You know what I'm interested to see?
And what's that?
I'm interested to see Colorado is going to play one, two, three, four. They're going to play four schools that they played last year. And when you play Colorado, it's probably you just don't know how good those receivers are and how good Shador is until you play them. I want to know how the teams play them that know how good they are and how fast they are because they played them last year. I want to know if Colorado makes the adjustments, whether in personnel or scheme, to be better than they were last year, or does the competition that they played has more of an advantage because Colorado's going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to change what they do, but now we know what you're doing this year, and you're not going to catch us off guard.
Right. Well, which rolls us right into the, you know what I'm saying, kind of keys to the game. I mean, so my question to you, what are you looking for from Colorado in order for them to be successful to win
If
this game?
if Colorado runs the ball for 150, I think they'll win 27-19. If they run for less than 100, I think Nebraska wins 34-24. The reason why I'm saying those numbers is because it tells me about the willingness to run, how they control the game. Okay. Last week, you know what won the game for Colorado, and nobody's giving it credit. You know what won the game for Colorado, and it had nothing to do with the defense or anything like that. What won the game was that drive that ate the clock up. Think about that. They had that one drive that ate the clock up and that got the defense off the field for some time to just get some rest, right? You remember that drive?
Okay, let me talk about let me talk about that because there was a there was a Rawhide family member by the name of Shay Man. Shout out to Shay. She asked a question during the video, during the watch along. Do we believe? Is Colorado scoring too fast? And my response was, okay, hey, there ain't no such thing as scoring too fast. But I understand what I think she was trying to get at it and what you're speaking on. That drive that in particular that you're talking about, it's a display of a sustained drive. You know what I'm saying? I think you can take away from that how the offense is working together. I think those are signs or positives
Yeah.
from the Colorado Buffaloes offense. So when people say, are they scoring too fast? You want to score anytime you can score, but I think they're really meaning into what you're saying. Can you milk the clock and get them up out of there?
Correct.
Can you
Before the half, at the end of the game, one of the two. Can you
right?
milk the clock?
Right? Can you give your defense a breather? Right?
Correct.
These are the things that come along with I think what you're talking about here, and I totally agree with you. I think that's what sealed the game.
You call it you always call it complementary football.
Always.
The offense can help the defense, and the defense can help the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things we're looking for, and I was impressed. For that window was very impressive. That's why it gave me pause when I saw when it was time to run the clock out, they didn't. Regardless of who did what, it's still the head coach. As soon as you threw the ball on the first time, you got to get on the microphone and say, what the boy from what team did we see that had a meme in our little group? It was from Texas A&M. The coach from Texas A&M yelled down to the sidelines to his coordinators and said, tell them to run the effing ball. You got to do that because we know the situation of the game, and this is not time to be creating some theme or some storyline. Man, I'm trying to get the hell out. You know what the storyline is? We're getting the hell out of here and we get this W. So I like that drive. I would love to analyze that drive one day to just look at that one drive and say, from one drive, this is the Colorado that can win 9 games. But all them other drives, to think you're gonna score in 3 plays is not sustainable. It's not.
Yeah.
You can't expect that. Mm-hmm. But I can expect for you to run the ball a little bit here, Shador scramble, get a first down. Bubble screen here, throw it to Travis, get a first down. A run a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Or maybe we get a penalty, we back up a little bit, run a screen, boom, get a first down. You look up, you took 6 minutes off the clock. That's something that I can say. I see you do it. I see you can do it. Mm-hmm. I would like to see it. It don't have to be all game. If you score in 3 plays, you score in 3 plays, but you got to mix it up a little bit. Everything can't be a 20-yard route like you're playing Madden. Everything can't be bombs.
Right.
Check down. I think they threw a check down. I actually think they threw a check down this game. I think I remember seeing the running back come through the middle with a quick little check down. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, that's a good play.
And let's be honest about it. North Dakota State didn't have the type of athletes that can truly take full advantage of the time of possession that they had. You know what I mean? I don't believe you can't allow, in my honest opinion, they cannot allow Nebraska to have the ball that long. That defense is going to break.
Nebraska had the ball like they were Georgia. They had the ball damn near 40 minutes. I think it was like 38 to 20. It was crazy. That's the type of numbers that you see Georgia do on teams where they keep the ball that long, or Alabama. They got the ball that long. You can't beat them, especially if they don't turn the ball over. Because if this is the thing that people got to understand is when your time of possession is that low, all it takes is one turnover or not getting a 4th down conversion, and now you in a dogfight. You might not win this game because you don't have the ball that long.
Right.
And when they get the ball, we saw that with the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens last year. We talked about it. Man, Baltimore got so nervous because Kansas City just methodically went down. Even when they didn't score, it put Baltimore, they had to go the whole field to score. So those are the little things, and I think hopefully they're getting better at that. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, I think this week Nebraska are masters at that. Mm-hmm. That's what Nebraska does, and it's going to be the test of the wheels. Who's going to win the game? The team that wants to play faster, or the team that wants to play chess?
Right.
That's what I want to see.
Well, I mean, just food for thought for the listeners, man. North Dakota State held the ball for 36 minutes and 44 seconds compared to Colorado's 23 minutes and 16 seconds. And in Nebraska versus UTEP, Nebraska held the ball for 38 minutes and 32 seconds, while UTEP had the ball for 21 and 28 seconds.
Exactly.
I don't think Colorado can survive in those type of margins. And hopefully, what I'm saying, for their benefit, hopefully they make some adjustments and they're able to be better successful keeping Nebraska off, keeping Colorado's defense off the field. So we spoke on Colorado. What about Nebraska? What does Nebraska need to do to win this game?
I think obviously the turnover battle. They have to win the turnover battle. I think they're going to get some kickoff returns because they're not in altitude. So special teams, I think, is going to be really important. I'm curious to see exactly how Colorado plays when they get close to like field goal range, how they play it without having altitude. And I have to admit, Mata had a couple of low kicks last week that I did not like. They were low, man. They went in. I mean, if they go in, they go in. But a couple of them are like really low. And I'm thinking, and he did it more than once. I think he did it 2 or 3 times. And he didn't like he was hitting the ball right. I think he could fix that. That's not something I don't expect him to do that on a regular basis. But I think the special teams, something on special teams is going to happen where it's going to flip the field position. Maybe somebody fumbles a punt or something, or a kickoff return, and they flip the field real quick. Now, defensively, they're going to have to get to Shador, and they're going to have to close the pocket. There's nothing wrong with keeping him in the pocket, but I think when he has an opportunity to kind of get out of the pocket, and if you don't have the athletes to chase him down and get him down, then he can make things happen. They're going to have to come after him. And offensively, I think what they do is perfect. Pound the ball, run those powers, run the zones, throw it to the tight end, make you cover the field, throw it deep, throw it short, throw it to the running back, run out of this, boom. Every now and then, fake something and let Raiola get on the edge. I think make Colorado defend every single part of the field, so then you put the defensive coordinator in the buzzsaw. He don't know what to stop. He like, okay, but coach, if we run cover one, they got these 4-3 guys. People don't know Nebraska went out there and got some burners. Like they got some speed burners. That ain't the Nebraska that we grew up. They got some 6'4", 4-3 burners on the outside that can absolutely roll. Quick, Raw, I got a question for you. The kid that they got, because they got 2 burners, but the one that had a good game. Who's Travis Garden? Would you put him on the other one and roll the coverage to that burner, like roll the safety over top? Or would you put Travis on him and just say, Travis, lock him down?
Are you talking about, what is it,
18?
Isaiah Nayor? I don't know.
Yeah.
You're talking about him. No, I wouldn't. I'd learn from Stanford.
Right.
And what I would do was I put Travis on the other side, and then I make sure that I got 2 people looking at Isaiah. That's what I would do. What about you?
I don't know. Some ways I've seen it where the best player, you put your best DB on the second receiver and tell him to lock him down. And then on the good receiver, you put your second DB, but you roll the coverage to him. So there's always looks of somebody on top, somebody underneath. I don't know, but I think it also matters what they feel comfortable with, because when you do that, it changes the run fits. I honestly think what Nebraska's going to do is wherever Travis is, they're going to figure out a way to run the ball at him and just test him and just see if he wants to take on these linemen or what he wants to do. But
I think Matt Rule is going to do what he did last game. I think we talked about it before. Is that they're going to put hands on Travis every play. If he's out there, somebody's going to touch him, right?
Absolutely.
He's going to have to fight and wrestle each, because that's what wear you out. It's similar to boxing, bro. The big dude, the big dude, he holds and grab, and lean and holds and grab. By round 6 or 7,
you tired.
You tired from just holding him up.
Right. And then that's when he hits you. That's when you lean down, he hit you with an uppercut.
Bam. There you go, bro. There you go. And I think that's what they're going to do, because he attempted to do that last game.
I'm not going to lie. So I know we're not talking about all the games and we're talking about this game, but with Nebraska, USC, with what I'm seeing, the Big Ten got something to say. The Big Ten got something to say. Not saying that they're better than the SEC, but I'm saying they got something. What they say, the South got something to say. The Big Ten got something to say, bro. They got some impressive wins. And I'm seeing some impressive football. It doesn't look like you're the old school 3 hours in a cloud of dust. The thing that's impressive about Nebraska is I'm curious to see how the safeties play for Colorado because this guy, Raiola, has the ability to throw the ball 65, 70 yards in the air. And sometimes safety has this mechanism where they feel like I'm deep enough. I like, okay, when we used to play Randy Moss, coaches used to say, when you think you deep enough, go get deeper. You ain't never deep enough. So the same thing with Raiola. With the fact that he has that type of arm and they got that type of speed on the outside, I'm curious to see if the safeties are going to get out of the habit of probably jumping short stuff because this kid can rip that ball down that field and you look up and touchdown. Every time I seen him play, he has a six. Didn't I say that on the when we talked about it? He's had a 60-yard play, and I said that before the game, and then boom, he could have had one. He could have had two of them. One was dropped, and the other one he dropped it in the basket, touchdown.
Right.
So it's hard to play. Now, if you ran the ball and you dinked and dunked, okay, my safeties can be there. We can play close. But if you running the ball and taking shots, that's nervous because the defensive coordinator is nervous about you taking the top off. They just nervous about you taking the top off.
So, which role? Again, I got to ask. Now, I think you kind of mentioned it earlier about some of your expectations, but what kind of defense you looking at? What kind of adjustments on defense you looking for Colorado to do here?
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. So, damn, I would. So, they run double tight end sets, and those double tight end sets can manipulate your man-to-man coverage, right? Because one tight end can go behind the line of scrimmage and swap. It's called the submarine pass. It's a lot of things that those double tight ends could do. But if I want to go zone, I don't feel comfortable with playing Raiola in the zone either. So if I play him in man, the double tights can manipulate it. But also, I got to be able to protect them deep balls too. I really don't. Because I'm thinking about Colorado's personnel. I really don't know. I think you got to go basic and probably just execute, man. Go with your 4-down linemen. Go with your cover 1, cover 3, cover 2, your basic defenses, and just play fast. I don't think you can get exotic. I don't think playing Nebraska with an exotic defense works. I think you need to execute more so than being exotic. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just run your stuff, run it to a T. You don't have to be vanilla, but somewhat vanilla. Your base blitzes only run the shit that you can run well. If you start running shit and people wide open and he catch your ass wide open and that's a problem, no, just hopefully your D-line and hopefully your personnel can stand up to those big ass linemen and those tight ends blocking down on them. And if you can't, I'm gonna be real with you. If you can't, and your D ends and your linebackers can't hat in hands those linemen and get off and make tackles, then it's just a bad matchup. It's just that simple. Just a bad matchup.
But what about? Well, okay. Last question on it. I think we run a little long, but let me ask you this: Do they swap Tyler Brown? Because I don't like Tyler Brown's length out there at right tackle. I didn't like it in the beginning. I don't like it right now. And do they swap Tyler Brown, put him back at guard, put Benson at tackle, insert Tyler Johnson?
Where you gonna put Tyler Johnson?
He can be your other guard. Your other guard.
So you taking Justin Mayers out?
Yeah, sit Mayers, put Johnson.
Did Mayers have a bad game? Oh, the problem was the center. The center is the one who had a bad game.
I think the center is what it is with that.
Yeah, yeah.
It ain't. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to swap if you're starting center out?
I don't know. Oh man. So the biggest jump for any team every season is from game 1 to game 2, especially with a new team. which Colorado's a new team. It's a lot of transfer. Game one and game two is where you see the biggest growth because you watch the film. You guys finally played together. Now let's go rock and roll. Let's do this shit right. The problem is if you start switching people out between game one and game two, you're fucking starting over again, man.
Yeah, that's true.
And
But
that's the
aren't you starting back to where you were practicing originally?
if you switch them out again.
Like Benson was always the tackle anyway. I think he was the
Yeah,
understood.
but there's something that they did not like. There's
Oh,
obviously something they didn't like.
right. You're right. You're right.
Something
You're
they
right.
didn't like. And something was going on that we didn't see that they did not like. Um, so to flip now it's a question of the only change you can do after if you flip it one more time, the only change you do after that, somebody got to get the hell out of there. Because I can't be just flip flopping, mix matching. Then now it's time for us to change the depth chart. It's really that's really the real thing is it's time to change the depth chart. If we can't, this Nebraska game doesn't work out like we wanted to, then that means somebody's gonna go to the bench and they're gonna have to just be cheerleading and be cool with that.
Well,
Now, I don't know who that's gonna be.
I mean, I could be
I don't
reaching.
know.
I mean,
I don't know.
it may be me. I'm reaching, but I didn't like the type of the pressure that that FCS opponent put on them. I didn't like that.
Oh,
And I
I
also
didn't-
believe that if you're going to make changes, this is the time to do it. Don't do it game 5.
you know what surprised me the most is when I watched that game, and I don't like this feeling, but it felt like I was watching FCS playoffs. And I shouldn't feel like that with Colorado. It felt like I was watching an FCS playoff game.
So you
Meaning-
thought you thought it was North Dakota State versus South Dakota State.
Montana. North Dakota State versus Montana. North Dakota State versus I didn't see I saw explosive plays by a good quarterback, good wide receiver, but the trench play, I didn't see that big of a difference.
Severely lacking.
That's the part that had me say, whoa. Now, I don't mind you losing the game because you fumbled the ball and did some fluke stuff. And okay, let me use this. I'm gonna use the example. Last year when Nebraska played Colorado, I felt like Nebraska trench play was by far better than Colorado's. From the offensive line being able to run the ball for 250 to the defensive line getting 7 sacks. But you know why they lost the game? Because they had too many damn turnovers. Now, if Colorado would have won or lost the game, but I could see the difference in the trench play, I'd be like, okay, they just had a bad game, but they don't look like no FCS team. I didn't see that. It wasn't that many turnovers. It was one turnover. I saw a very evenly matched team. So, okay, let me ask you this. If Colorado played North Dakota State 10 times, how many wins will you give North Dakota State?
After watching what I've watched,
Knowing the coaches, knowing how they're gonna coach the game.
yeah, I give North Dakota State 4 victories.
And that's the part. It don't make you feel warm and fuzzy if you ride or die. Mm-hmm. And I think anybody that watched that game will probably agree with you and said, "Yeah, I can see that. I don't want to play them again."
Yeah,
it'd be like if I told Colorado fans, "Hey, why don't we go schedule them next year?" They like, "Nah, I don't want to schedule that. I'm good. I'm good. You better give me something different, like Sacramento State or something. I'm not trying to dog on them, but just something different. I don't want that."
But even in addition to that, you don't even get anything for playing a North Dakota State, South Dakota State, or Montana. You don't get anything from that because if you don't play well, people gonna be trashing, and if you play great, people gonna just say that's what you're supposed to do. Those games are the worst games, bro.
So in the Discord, we watched Oklahoma State play South Dakota State, right?
That's what it's supposed to look like.
That's right. But hold up, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I see why South Dakota State beats North Dakota State because South Dakota State was huge. I was like, this is some big ass team. But Oklahoma State let it be known like there's levels to this, and this ain't what y'all want. You look up and they couldn't stop them. They couldn't do anything. Right. Now there was some times in there North Dakota State's a good team and they're gonna get some points, but you really didn't feel like it was ever in doubt. In doubt. Yeah.
That's and I would
So
and you know yeah, you're 100% right, bro. That's exactly what it looked like, and that's what it's supposed to look like. And that I guess that's the biggest disappointing thing about the game, the Colorado State North Dakota State game was is that I felt like they should have imposed their will more onto North Dakota State.
yes,
And I'm not even going to mention the coaching. I think I lost my mind enough on that. So the coaching, I'm going to leave that alone on this show for this one. So we're just going to bypass that, even though it
right.
plays an extremely,
Whew.
extremely major point. But we're gonna let that one lie. We're gonna leave that one alone.
We got a whole nother week to talk about
Yeah,
that.
we got a whole nother week to talk about that. But overall, I mean, let me hear it, bro. Well, let me hear it, bro. Right now, as of today, on Monday, Labor Day, how do you feel
Monday,
about this game?
48 hours past the Colorado game, and at least 24 hours since the over 24 hours since the Nebraska game. If I had to put my money on it, I'm going Nebraska 35, Colorado 20. Yeah,
35-20. Okay.
35-20.
All right.
Um,
I don't think that's bad.
but this is the thing. So I think Nebraska's going to score 30 something points. I think they're going to average high 20s, low 30s as a team. What people don't know is Pat Schumer has only scored 40 points twice in his entire coaching career as a head coach or as an offensive coordinator. His teams typically don't score a lot of points. Even when he's had Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, Super Bowl winning players, even when he's had all of those things, they still didn't score a lot of points. So for me, it's hard for me to ever say Colorado is going to blast somebody out of the water when I haven't seen that before from that coordinator. Now he might be great at managing the game, but man, that's what's killing me. I don't know if Colorado. Because think about this. Think about this. If you really want to think about it, Colorado scratched and clawed, even with all those explosive plays, to get 31 points on North Dakota State. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They scored 31 points against North Dakota State. So eventually you got to play the Kansas States of the world. You got to play the Nebraskas of hell. You got to play the Baylors of the world pretty soon, where the guys are bigger, stronger, faster. Them DBs are not going to leave people wide open. So that's the part that I want to see the offense work when it's play for play, not somebody blew a coverage and I like so the thing that's frustrating is I actually like Colorado's talent. I think Colorado got some dogs. I can't put my finger on it why it's just not coming together.
Yeah, I guess I would have to say, looking at the last game, which was a microcosm of everything that we have said and spoke about since January. I mean, if I would give a scoring prediction as of today, I think I'd go 39-18.
Okay.
39.
I think the 18 might be yeah. And I was thinking I was feeling 17, but I think Colorado has a really good offense, but I just don't know can they just throw the ball against Nebraska? Cuz to me, I'm thinking what would the score be if Nebraska played Hawaii? I'm going to keep coming back to that. What would the score be if Nebraska played Hawaii? Cuz I think Colorado's playing that Hawaii type of football.
Now let me
Even
change
though
that.
they don't want to,
Let
huh?
me let me change that. 39 39-17. 39-17. It's pretty difficult to get to 18. 39-17.
Yeah. So you feel okay. Let's talk about both of your scores. So 17. Tell me how do they you think the possessions keep them from scoring enough points?
Uh yes, it's the possessions. It's what no North Dakota gonna eat a lot of clock. I don't feel confident or comfortable with Colorado's defense.
Okay.
And the big playability that Colorado has, I think, can put 17 points on the board. So I
Okay. And
think,
then you
so you got two big plays, touchdowns, and you need a field goal, right? So you get
okay.
14 in three. I think Nebraska is going to score on nearly every possession. Nearly, I'm not saying all, but I think they're going to score on most of their possessions, and I think they're going to get up on them. What end up happening in the fourth quarter, they'll just drain the clock. It probably won't be a whole lot of scoring at all. Now, could it possibly more than likely be 39 to, I guess, 24? A late
Yeah.
touchdown by Colorado, maybe,
I
right?
got you.
If you want to be
I got
safe,
you.
you can do that. But yeah, yeah, that's what I got, bro.
So you feel like it's gonna get a point in the game where Colorado's gonna start taking chances,
Yeah,
and they
well, they're
get a
gonna do
sack
that
here,
anyway.
a sack there, 3rd and 20 because you just got sacked. Now we know we got to get ready for punt team, and then they get the ball, and the next thing you know, that's 14 points straight.
Yeah, short field, you know what I mean? Short field, stuff like that. Yeah,
I got you. It's okay. So let's dive into personnel. Are there any personnel changes that Colorado's going to make?
I
Because
have
I'm pretty
no.
sure Nebraska's going to keep what they look good. They didn't have they played everybody. They literally played every single person on their roster in
Yeah,
that game.
if
Colorado, is it a change of a running back or you
it,
gonna see a different? Is Daquan Miller going? What's his name? The freshman.
now I don't even. I think they're gonna go with what they had. I think Hayden is gonna be their back. Let's be honest about it. Hayden's probably gonna be their back.
You don't think Charlie going? You think they're gonna cut his reps down?
Man, you heard me before say Charlie was never the starter anyway. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel what you're saying, but okay. This is what I need you to do. Who ran the ball more, Charlie or Hayes? I don't know.
Hayden did. Dallin Hayden had 9 carries for 20 yards. Actually, Shador was the
Which
second rusher with carries with 6 carries for 17 yards. Charlie Offord only had 5 carries, bro, for 15 yards, and then Draylon Miller had 2 carries for 7 yards. So it's
so
not.
Charlie. But Charlie was more productive then, right?
Yeah,
He
Charlie
averaged
averaged
3 yards a
he
carry,
averaged 3 yards a carry. Hayden averaged
and I
2.2
think he got a
yards.
couple of first downs, right? He got a couple of first downs, right?
Who that?
Charlie.
He may have. I
Who
don't.
you think?
I can't come off the dome.
Okay, who you think played better? I know we don't want to. We're gonna cut it short. Who played better? Did Hayden play? Who played better between Charlie and Hayden? Forget where they coming from.
I
Who
thought
played better?
Hayden played. I thought Hayden played better.
Hmm.
I thought because if you watch the game, and I think a lot of people do this, like 9 carries for 20 yards. I don't. That ain't Hayden's fault. Hayden
No,
should
I
have
get.
had. He should have had the other carries.
I agree with you, but I definitely say I saw Charlie get first downs, even though they were like in two, and I saw Charlie pass protect, and I saw Charlie catch the ball out the backfield. Did Hayes get any catches out the backfield?
Hayden only. Yeah, he had 1 catch for 14 yards. Yes,
Or what did Charlie have catching?
2 catches for 13 yards.
Okay,
His
okay.
long was
Well,
13 yards. But what I'm saying is, if you swap out Charlie, put Hayden in, he's gonna, if not, do the same or better of what Charlie put out there. Come on, you know as well as I do the Charlie offered almost. So I'm not gonna put a whole lot of stock into that.
okay, but so what warrants Charlie losing his position? Did he do enough to? Did the other guy do enough to take his position, or did Charlie do enough to lose his position?
Charlie has lost his position.
How? Come on, bro. You can't say that. That's your opinion. I'm saying if Charlie Offerdall came from Florida, let's just say he was a Florida running back. Forget what you thought about him being a walk-on. Forget that. Did Charlie warrant enough to lose his position, or did Hayden do enough to take his position?
Hayden did
I
enough.
don't see that.
Okay, I mean, I get what you're saying, but you know as well as I do, Hayden is the better back.
I would like to say that. But I had that opinion about. We're not gonna talk about last year. I had that opinion about some stuff last year. I mean, I got this opinion on a lot of positions on Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know
I
what
think
to tell you
McNeil
on
needs to
that.
play. I think Amari McNeil need to play. I think Coach needs to play a little bit more. The linebacker situation, it's a lot of things that I think there might be better players that's not playing. So we know that's not Colorado's culture. So I'm trying to figure out what to expect as a fan or as a person that want to analyze
I
the
think
game.
you expect Dylan Hayden to be the starting running back when they trot out there versus Nebraska.
Okay, you think that first one was just a ploy?
You. I'm not using the word ploy. You using that word. I'm saying that. I
Oh,
think,
you because but I gotta okay. Oh, you just think they just wanted to bring the first game they wanted somebody with a little bit more experience to let them see how people perform, and now they're gonna make the changes.
that sounds much better. I would
That
agree with
sounds better. Okay, okay,
that.
okay.
Sounds much better.
I
That
try to help you out on that one. I try to help you out. My bad. It wasn't a ploy. It wasn't for clicks and views. It was we feel comfortable with just starting this game against an FCS team with people that we kind of already know.
there you go. See, why not just say that at the
Well,
beginning?
okay, so who's gonna have more sacks this game, Nebraska or Colorado?
Oh, Nebraska's gonna have more sacks.
Um, so tell me a category that the Colorado's gonna lead in. 'Cause I think Nebraska's gonna have
I think Shador will throw him for more yards than Raiola.
that would be crazy if it was the opposite way. That would be crazy. How many yards you got Raiola throwing for? He threw for almost 200 in the first half, but they took him out
Well,
at the middle of the third
as
quarter.
you know as well as I do, Raiola, that I put that stat on the sheet, so I'm just gonna keep that one to myself right now. I got
Oh,
a number.
you put that on the score sheet? Who's gonna have
Yeah,
more yards?
yes,
I
that's a
didn't know.
bonus play. That's a bonus
Okay, so
play.
what? Okay. I'm gonna keep it to myself then too. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, don't say anything about that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
I
that
did
one.
not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put it on there. Yeah, it's on there.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I'm excited. I'm cool. So, is there anything you're going to be paying attention to this week leading up to it that might give you some clues? Whether it's whether it's a well off or whether it's a interview. Is there anything you're going to be paying? You're going to have your third eye or your third ear listening to?
Yes, the it'll be the coaches press conference. I think they have them on Tuesday. It
Okay.
should be tomorrow.
Both coaches.
No, you know Coach Prime's midweek interview.
Yeah.
I think it's on Tuesday. I could be mistaken, but I'll be listening closely on that. I want to see what the tone is going to be coming into this game.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, all right, my brother. Well, that's
All right, bro.
that's
We'll end it there, bro. We'll end it there. Any last words, Alpha?
man. Hey guys, whether you a fan or not a fan, enjoy this. This is actually pretty fun. Because at the end of the day, we don't know. You got people that think they know and they don't know nothing. You got people that think they don't know nothing and they know way more than they expect. But I definitely think this is going to be a defining game for Colorado. I'm gonna tell you guys this: if Colorado beats Nebraska, let me end off with something great. If Colorado beats Nebraska and looks good at doing it, y'all might be cooking with something. You might be cooking with something, meaning
Totally agree.
we might be seeing 9 wins. If you can beat Nebraska and look good at doing it, yeah. Now, the other way happens too. So I'm not going to mention the other way. But
I don't necessarily feel a loss in this game to Nebraska.
if you look bad, it's going to mean
Yeah,
something.
yeah, you're right. Because I always had them losing this game. I mean, even from January, people go back and listen to some of our shows that that I clipped up here recently. But I never really thought they were going to win this game. But if they lose it in good fashion, if that's a such thing, I think
Okay.
my original record prediction still holds
It's
true.
about right. If we're looking at like 31-26, if they lose to Nebraska like North Dakota State lost to Colorado, you would say, okay,
Yeah,
that's a
they
good
good. They're good.
They
Yeah, they good.
Nebraska, yeah, and they'll win some games.
Yeah.
They'll beat some Arizonas and some Baylors, but they might have some issues with some other teams. I got
There
you.
you
I
go.
got you.
Yeah, there
But
you
we
go.
don't want to see no Oregon type. If we see some
No.
Oregon type stuff,
No, we don't want to see that.
they got a major. Because
Yeah,
how
we
many
don't.
yards you got Nebraska running for?
Uh, I think I got them plus 230.
Oh, is that on the sheet too?
No, no.
Okay, yeah, I got them at about
I think
250.
I took that in a bet. I think I took that in a bet.
Yeah, I got them at right at about 250. I got them at 250. At least what they did last. It's just a different type of running, but I and that's the part that's giving me. If they run for 250 with Raiola's arm, that means they're gonna have over 500 yards of offense, damn near 600 yards of offense.
They had 505 last time, and I did. That is on the sheet. That's a bonus question. Total yards.
Uh, over
think
over. Okay, but that's what, and I don't know because
they only ran for 223 yards last game against Utah.
yeah, but I mean 223, but it was kind of like they literally played anything and everybody. They coach said we was able to play our entire roster. That means even because at home you got walk-ons dressing. They was able to play their entire roster. Yeah, so we could. But I mean, if they would have kept their foot on the pedal, man, they probably would have won that game about six. They would have won that game about 60 to. They would have won that game probably 60 to 7, 60 to 10. They would have won that game crazy because they started rolling, they started clicking. You could. It was like, man, they can't stop this team. What? Yeah. So it's all good. All right. Well, we good, my brother. We
All right,
good.
man. Hey, man. I appreciate you doing this with us. Y'all can check this out. It'll be on Rawhide Media and Back of the Bus. Y'all go check it out, man. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Because remember, guys, over here we don't present information, guys. We just trying to have conversations. Ain't that right, Alpha?
All right. I see y'all back of the bus. Let's roll out.
Peace.
Gotta show 'em what we're made of. Knowledge, experience, and unity. With a voice of